Hey guys, welcome to today's video. This is going to be a quick version, and this is Paint with Lovejoy. Thanks so much for joining. Please subscribe to the channel and share this channel with your community. Like I said earlier, this is going to be a quick version, so if you prefer the full-length, non-time-lapsed version, check out my Patreon page and my Paint with Lovejoy website. If you want to further support Paint with Lovejoy, please do. It all helps. And for more in-depth courses, check out paintwithlovejoy.com. And as always, share this with your community.
All right, guys, another fun painting for Paul Klee today. Nice little tribute. So grab your supplies, transfer your traceable to your surface, and as always, make sure you take your progress photos. Now, today's version is the quick version. If you would like the full-length, non-time-lapsed version, definitely check out my Patreon page or the Paint with Lovejoy website, and you can find it on there. So we are going to be starting in the background, and we're starting with the yellow-orange mixture. If you have orange, you are more than welcome to use that, or you can do a mixture of yellow with a little bit of red to get to the shade of orange that you would like. You also have full permission to switch out colors and change this up to something that might match your decor or more of your favorite colors. So we're slapping that kind of medium orange, light orange on there, and we will put a few other shades, some more red and some more yellow as we go through filling up the background. Now, as you go through today's painting, I want you to strengthen your power of observation, pause the video as needed. You do not need to paint as fast as this video. It is a time-lapsed version. But like I said, it's just a good place to kind of get comfortable and use as a base guide for your painting. Now, as you're mixing your color, if you need to mix it again and maybe it's a little lighter or darker, don't stress on getting the exact same shade. Having that variety is to your benefit, and you'll see in a moment where we actually put some more red into our mixture to go a little bit darker. If you happen to be on a stretched canvas, I do recommend that you carry this color around the edges and the sides of the canvas. It just looks nice when it hangs on the wall, having the color wrap around the edge. And here you can see that I put a little bit more red in my mixture, not much, but just a shade or two darker, and then we're painting right on top of that background. This is called wet on wet blending, and it's actually quite fun. I am using student grade paint, and if you are using the same, I do recommend that you apply your paint a little bit thicker. That way you have a bit more opaque coverage and it'll fill in the texture of the canvas. You can always put a second layer after it dries on top for more opaque coverage. So as we move into the shoulders, we mixed a little bit of red and black for a little bit darker color, and then some of that straight red. And again, we're just kind of using Paul Klee's painting as inspiration. I have seen this done in various colors. So again, just kind of pull this up, the video and observe, or pull up the original image, and you can go a little bit closer to some of his original colors. So then we went with the red and black mixture, then we added some yellow, and it kind of came out with this dirty orange. That's how we got here, or you can be using your direct orange with a touch of black into it. Again, feel free to deviate from the video. So you did see where you could pause the video, take your progress photo. Now we're moving into the face and kind of starting at about the 12 o'clock spot on the face. And we're basically just going to keep taking each color and go around clockwise around the face. And I am using that middle flat brush. Right now it's just the straight yellow paint. Then we're going to move into white paint. And since we are moving in smaller areas, I want you to focus on smaller brush strokes and a little more control where each of these colors are meeting. Kind of like right here, we just slap some of that red on there and blending it into the yellow. Same where the yellow and the white meet. Just be a little more controlled and focus on your blending. And because we're kind of going in these small sections around the face, it does give you time to focus on the blending instead of trying to put the same color all over the face and possibly having it dry by the time you get to do your blending or get to the next color. So there are many, many ways to paint. And as my first time in beginner painters, I'm trying to expose you to a few different methods with all my videos. But again, feel free to experiment and trust your instincts. But most importantly, please just keep painting. So you saw where we added the yellow. Now we're moving at the light pink, excuse me, where the cheek area is. I tried to put that sentence all together. And again, just kind of using the side of the brush for a little bit more blending. as it comes up to each color. And went in with a little darker pink right underneath the eye. Now we're using a little bit of white to do some blending. Again, you're just strengthening your power of observation, but more importantly, you are getting lost in the process of painting. And hopefully you forget about the rest of your life while you are here and just enjoy the process. Now, as I'm doing some of that blending, I am using light pressure, and as you saw, holding the brush at a bit of a 45-degree angle. When you hold that brush at that 45-degree angle, it helps you create smoother brush strokes compared to the brush being perpendicular to the canvas and more of your brush strokes show up. So now going back to that light pink and continuing our way around the face. This is kind of an asymmetrical face here where the eyes are not fully lined up. I do like the stylized version of this face. And even though it has the nose and the eyes, we still recognize it as a face, even though it is not realistic or completely proportional. All right, and adding a little bit of that darker pink on top of there, and then going back with our orange. We do stay in pretty warm colors. And like I said, I've seen other students do this in various colors, shades of blue, shades of purple. I had one person actually just use red, black, and white. It looked really cool. So again, feel free to get creative and just get expressive and have fun. This is your place to be a kindergartner and just enjoy the process of painting. So moving back up to the yellow, finishing the top portion of that forehead, adding a little bit of orange on top of there. We'll be adding some white in next, and then we'll start moving into the eyes and the neck. All right, moving into that white. And again, just kind of being a little more controlled with your brush strokes as each color comes up to a prior color. You don't want to blend too much because you do want to keep some of the segmentation and some of this nice geometric aspect, but you also don't want it to be a super sharp line. And again, just getting comfortable with how paint moves and how you're going to apply it. So on the neck, we had that light pink. Now we're going in with a little bit more red. We did put some white in there. Again, does not have to be perfect. And again, hopefully you are not painting as fast as this painting because it's time-lapse, but also remember to breathe as you are in your creative zone. We do get kind of nervous and tend to hold our breath, and that is not going to help you as you go along the process. All right, so going in with that light pink, we're going to go back up to the eyeballs, get the rest of the final details in there, and then that will bring us into the conclusion of today's painting. So we are going around the eye, kind of where the whites of the eyes, this light pink is going, and then we'll use a darker pink or that direct red for the eyeball. And feel free to switch back and forth between the small pointy brush or the flat brush, whichever you may feel comfortable with. Either brush that you are using, play with the pressure of your brush. Light pressure creates a smaller line or mark. More pressure creates a bit wider line. You do sometimes have a bit more control with the small pointy brush. All right, there we go. And then just going to give a little bit of eyeliner. It's not quite the pure red, and just using that light pressure. It's not a full solid line, but just giving a hint, and then giving a little indication of where our nose is going to be and the nostrils. Again, not completely realistic, but our brain still interprets it as a face. All right, and if you do want to add a little bit of shading or a pupil on your eyeball and change it, go right ahead and do that. Anything else you may want to add, we're going to go in with some black and the last little eyebrow marks and a few details, and then that'll be the conclusion of today's painting. So again, I'm really proud of you guys for taking time out of your day to get creative. Please try to find creative outlets on a regular basis. And the more that you paint, the more comfortable you will get with the process. And each lesson that you learn in a painting, you will take into your next painting. So it is a compound learning process. So great job, you guys. I look forward to painting with you in the future. And until then, cheers.